Hey guys, so my channel finally rolled over that 1,000 subscriber mark, and when it happened I lost a few almost immediately, but I'm still close enough where I wanted to drop this new video to celebrate a big milestone for me, that 1,000 subscriber mark. So I've been working really hard to hit that 1,000 subscriber mark, and I thought what better way to celebrate than with a new 1,000cc side-by-side. Now, it's not one of the few that you see over and over again on YouTube these days. Instead, it's something that suits me a little bit better, something a little different. I've been pretty consistent with my praise towards the CFMOTO ZForce 500 trail that I've owned now for a couple of years. So the next logical progression would be to step it up to either the 800 or the 1000cc. Now, I've already mentioned that I'm celebrating 1,000 subscribers with 1,000 cc's. So without further ado, let me introduce to you brand new CFMOTO ZForce 1000. Alright, so let's go over some of the differences between the 500 trail and the new 1000. So right off the bat, you can see we got a 10-inch wider stance on the 1000, so it's sitting at 60 inches versus 50 inches on the 500 trail. Along with that comes some longer suspension travel. So you can see that versus the short travel on the 500. So if you have a look at the stiffness here, that's pressing down as hard as I can versus, so quite a bit more movement here on the 1000 translates into a much smoother ride. So we have adjustable preload on this. We have compression and rebound adjustments as well. On here we have the same adjustments on the front, but on the back of the 500 we have preload and we have rebound only. So no compression on that one. Very short. You can see how kind of the preload is dialed right now. We have some kind of short springs on this guy. Really kind of bucks in certain situations. So again, focusing on the front, everything's the same other than the this winch comes factory installed. This one, I believe, if I remember, was a dealer option. I can't quite recall. So moving around to wheels and tires, we have 14-inch aluminum wheels, much the same as the 500. We have 1-inch larger tires on this, the 27-inch Stags. So premium tire compared to the 500. So moving around, again, another big feature here. We have power steering on the 1000, which is a big difference. And this is tilt adjustable, just like it is on the 500. So this one also comes with the factory CFMOTO suicide half doors. Seats very similar, other than styling. It feels a little bit different, but I can't tell if it's just age that has kind of changed the feel of the seats. On the 500 they could be exactly the same material. Moving up to the dash here, exact same layout here as the 500. So we have kill switch, we have override, horn, light controls, so they're LED lights and signal lights. Signal light right and left here, and then hazard lights here. So we have a winch plug as well as a 12-volt accessory port. Again, this is some storage up here, kind of shallow storage compartment. And other than that, everything is the same. We have the same kind of 4-point seat belts here, harnesses, as I have on my trail. It's caught behind the seat right now, go figure. And slightly more interior room, being a 60-inch model versus the 50-inch trail. So coming around, the bed is exactly the same, the exact same issues that I've already identified on the 500. Just an inconvenience more than anything. It's a pain in the butt to drain this dirt. So because these drain holes are not recessed, they're actually raised just about 1/8 of an inch. It prevents all the sand from draining out. Makes it really tough to clean, if that matters to you. So the other thing is, here we have the aluminum CV boot guards, and they're plastic on the 500 trail. So again, you can see the difference between the suspension here. Nice long springs. And the other thing is nice fenders on the 60-inch 1000. They have it on the 800 EX as well, so it's EX model specific, versus what we have on this 500. It's basically little mud flaps, so plastic mud guards. And then here's the 500. Rather than coming with factory doors, they come with these door nets, which are better than nothing. Kind of a pain in the butt sometimes, but again, it's a good safety feature, and in certain circumstances, it becomes very important. So overall, that is the 1000 versus the 500. Both machines I really, really enjoy. I think they're both excellent value. It all depends kind of what you're looking for and what your needs are. My recommendations for this 500 trail for its purposes have not changed. So I'm still going to ride it. I still really much enjoy it, and I was telling my brother that it feels like it has a different character than the 1000, right? So I only have about 15 kilometers on this, and it's been like riding around the block trying to break in the belt, heat cycling the belt, stuff like that. So I haven't really taken it out on some good trails yet. So that's coming up next, guys. You join me for my first impressions. I'm going to do it live vlog style with my new vlog rigged helmet, and I'll talk to you about how it feels versus this guy a little bit. But for anyone who hasn't driven this, I'm going to talk about just in general as well. So join me next for the trail ride. Let's get out there. So I'm going to kick it, and actually I'll ride straight high gear until I get to the trails. So I have 30 kilometers on the dot right now. I rode a tiny bit of trail area in low gear, very slow, and the rest I was riding around the block, breaking in the belt, heat cycling the belt, high gear, slow speed. Vehicle coming. So actually I noticed one thing already. I'll talk to you in a second here. Alright, so what I noticed before was that in low gear it's very jolty. It's not as smooth as the 500 was. Obviously it has more power, so that was bound to happen. But in high gear, I find it very, very smooth, and it has the power where it lacked in the 500 in high gear at low speeds, right? So that's one pro already just leaving my house. So 50 kilometers an hour feels nice and comfortable, which is a good thing. That's what I expected. But it feels like this thing's just barely even working right now at 50 kilometers an hour, which is nice. And this is typically the trails that I usually ride. This is a nice comfortable speed on the flat kind of throughway trail. So if I can ride comfortably suspension wise at this speed, it would be excellent, and I'm sure I can. The mirrors that come standard on this are, it's one of those things where if you've never had mirrors under side-by-side before, you don't know what you're missing. So it's something I didn't care about until I had them, and now I can't live without the mirrors. Alright, so we're just riding a bit of road. Let's fast track to the trails, and I'll see you guys on the trails in a second. Alright, gonna start nice and slow in low gear. I do a lot of my trail riding in low gear. I just worked so hard to clean this thing. I hate to see what it's gonna look like at the end of this ride. Alright, so 25 kilometers an hour, low gear. Feels like we're just getting started. Feels moderately soft. Yeah, you can still feel the bumps, that's for sure. But day and night difference between the 500, trust me. The seat, I probably should have moved back a little bit. I have another 1.5 inches or so, which at 5'9", I still like the seats in these pushed right to the back. So if you're a taller rider, you might have to look at some other options in terms of, well, possibly a different machine, but maybe some seat risers and stuff like that. Alright, let's concentrate. 100% I notice the power steering. Another one of those things yeah, that's nice. So tiny little bit of air there, and I used to do that on my 500 all the time, just pop it off that little jump, and oh my god, you feel the landing. On this, nice and smooth, no problems. This is by no means a jumper. People have jumped these, not recommended typically, but something like that does really well. Alright, I don't know what I was saying, but here's some little whoops. Alright, so I hit these way faster than I could in the 500. I'm still talking with you while I'm doing it. I'm gonna try. Okay, there's where you feel the extra little bit of power. That was fun. I always said that the 500 had enough power to be fun, but when you put the pedal down, it could still kick the tires loose. But now that I've done this in this machine, there is a real big difference. All right, a little bit of water. So still in two-wheel drive, low. I'll try this way here. Sorry if my thoughts are a little scattered. I'm just kind of telling you my impressions as things happen. So, here's another impression, right? Pros and cons. The 50-inch, I don't touch these trees. The 60-inch, we rub a little bit on the paint. It's a sacrifice I was willing to make. I knew that was going to happen well in advance of getting this. The Kawasaki Teryx was 64 inches, and I used to rub a lot more. So some thick mud, I don't know if you guys can tell. I'm going to put it in four-wheel drive. See how that does? Alright. So that wasn't an issue. And in the 500, I'm relatively certain I would have bottomed out on there. So you can see we're slinging mud. I'm going to take this out from four-wheel drive back into two low. Train tracks run parallel with me here, and I have been known to get scared the shit out of from a train from time to time. So this feels absolutely wonderful right now. I'm super happy with it. Nice and smooth. Power steering in these little ruts, amazing, guys. Can't even tell you enough. So my Kawasaki Teryx was the first side-by-side that I had. Actually, it was the first unit I had, period, in terms of quads and side-by-sides that had power steering. And it's going to be hard for me to ever go back. The 500 is the exception. I found the 500 Trail to have exceptionally light steering for some reason, just based on, I guess, the weight of the machine, possibly. I am absolutely dirty as hell already. Some quads playing around in here, slinging mud like crazy right now. I wonder if I know these guys. I'm not sure. Might be a guy I know. Just checking out that mud hole, or water hole more than anything. Alright, so they're behind me now. I'm not going to take my time. And you know what that means. I'm not going to gun it either. I'm still breaking this in. But so again, I lost track of what I was saying, but positive so far. Oh, the power steering. Yeah. On that note, the 500 Trail is probably one of the few where I'd consider without power steering if I had to do it again. It's a kind of budget-minded vehicle, so to keep the price down, I can live without power steering on that unit. They're right behind me. Alright. Oh yeah, ripping it up this hill. Oh my god, like a dream, guys. An absolute dream. I love it. That was half throttle. You've seen me in this area before. That was about half throttle, all that, and let me tell you, it's not a rocket ship in a straight line on the road, but in the trails like that, man, it's perfect. Half throttle is basically as much power as I could apply. Excellent so far, guys. In case you haven't caught on, I'm really enjoying it. I'll see if I can find a couple of hills, maybe something to climb up here. And then after that, I'm probably going to head back, guys. I just wanted to get my first impressions. I'm probably going to go in a couple of days for a ride with my family, but I'm not quite sure where yet. So we will 100% be getting some good rides out of it. I can climb that area, see if there's any other good spots. Alright, I'll climb that, what I just looked at. We'll see. So in terms of climbing, what I anticipate, this is a very short vehicle, so I don't think it's going to be the best climber for in terms of steep angles. I think it'll do better than the 500, clearly because it's just more power. So, but in terms of the overall dimensions, it's similar in length. So as far as angles that I'm able to climb, probably pretty similar, other than the power. All right, so pretty steep. You probably can't quite tell how steep this is, I'm sure. Let's check it out. I don't know what's over the top of this. Okay, we're good. Oh, I could have went straight down. Oh yeah, so climb's very, very nice. That was, again, effortless. It's not the steepest of climbs, but it's a test, you know, it's still a test. Okay, let's see if I get my lines right here. Oh yeah, perfect. And then right up here, engine braking. Not bad, could be better. Alright, let's hit those trails again. Oh, this way. I'm really liking it, guys. Can't wait. It's going to be an excellent year. Hey, listen, guys. If you like the style of riding with the vlogs and whatnot, maybe you want to see a little more action in terms of getting some more machines out in the mix, stay tuned for my channel this year. It's going to be a great year. So basically, I'm going to cool it with the fishing a little bit, and I'm going to concentrate this summer on riding as much as possible. And I have some like-minded friends who are on the same page. It's going to be an awesome year. I got some trips planned. Hopefully this whole flu business dies down a little bit, and we can do some traveling and some adventures. And of course, I'm going to take you guys along for the ride. So if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. And if you like this video, guys, don't forget to click the thumbs up button. It really helps. And I would appreciate if you left a comment. Let me know how I'm doing. All right. Oh, yeah. You know, when you make sounds like that, it's more powerful than words sometimes. Just, oh. I like the sound too. It has a unique, I guess it's like the V-twin sound, but it's different from my previous machines, that's for sure. So let's talk about, while I'm riding back, same things you guys saw. I'll take a different route, actually. Talk about future plans here for this machine. So I already know the 100%, I'm not going to be happy with 27-inch tires. So I'm probably going to look at first getting a set of 29s. Woo. So 29-inch tires. Haven't made up my mind exactly what I'm looking for yet. It's going to be something that can handle all terrains very well, right? Go figure, all terrains. I'm looking at some of the offerings from Traction. I think it's a Canadian company. I just started kind of looking into their Traction gripper, and I believe that somebody I got a lot of respect for in the business had quite a bit of input in designing these things, which is a bonus. And they look great. They come in 29s that will fit this machine, and I shouldn't have to do any type of lifting or trimming or anything like that. So I think that will be a good mix for me. Should try this little water hole here. In terms of I won't lose a crap load of performance. Oh my god, this is wet. I won't lose a crap load of performance. I shouldn't have to do any clutch work. I maybe should do some clutch work. I don't think it's necessary, but it'll give me an inch of extra ground clearance overall with the 2-inch bigger tire, and so this might be a little bit easier. And also, you know, the other benefits that come with a larger tire. So air down capabilities, more surface area, stuff like that, I think will be excellent. So I'm going to look into that very first thing. I'll talk to you more about the other considerations after this water hole. This may be very deep. Not so bad yet. That's coming through the floor a little bit. Alright, not too bad. So it started coming through the drain holes in the floor. Now let me tell you, had that have been my 500, which sits a fair amount lower, I think my feet would have been pretty wet right now. Oh, I thought we were out of it. This is still water. So when I came through here initially for my little first trail test ride, this was all ice. And oh yeah, this is a little deeper. Alright, we're doing alright. So this was ice to the point where it was weak enough for me to break through it, and which was absolutely horrible because I was smashing through it, and once you're through that surface layer, you're plowing through the rest, and that ice can be very damaging to like just things like the CV boots and stuff like that. So I'm not a big fan of that, right? I will stay away until the ice melts for another couple of days or another week if I need to, because I'm not interested in doing stuff like that for my first, 20, 30 kilometers on a brand new machine. I don't mind the typical stuff. I'll smash through the trees and jam it into rocks and play in the mud, but the ice is something where you get no reward from it. It's not satisfying to me, and it could be pretty damaging, so no thank you. Alright, I should let me try my high gear out in these trails. Oh yeah. Okay, so high gear is where you notice the power change. In low gear, I mean, even the 500 in low gear, it's just all low end. You run out of gear quickly, right? So in 500, when you step on it in the trails, that's where you feel it really take off. So here's those same whoops, doing 50 kilometers an hour. I have done this speed in the 500 over the same terrain, but I tell you, I'm not going to be talking to you while I'm doing it. So here's that fun little... Oh god, yeah. Oh my god. That's just... Oh. That's awesome. That was a good bit of fun. I'm glad I went with the high gear. And again, that's nowhere near the floor at that point, just so you know, guys. That's like, again, half throttle, basically. I'm just hardly touching the throttle here. Now, I forgot to mention, we're only sitting at about 79 horsepower in this machine, right? It's nothing spectacular in terms of some other things on the market, but let's compare apples to apples here and put this in the range of that, that Razor 900 or the XP 1000. Somewhere around that area. I will put it above the 900 and probably almost even with the XP. So it's at this day and age here, where we're at in the industry, there's machines that are pushing 200 horsepower from the factory with turbo kits, right? You have to stop comparing every machine to those. The best thing to do is get out, drive something, and then explain how much you like it in a trail environment. If I would race something like a turboed Razor or a Can-Am on the street, I might walk away saying, oh, the Z-Force is slow. But you guys just saw that in a trail environment. This is awesome. Really enjoyed it. Alright guys, listen, I'm back here on the road. I'm going to head home now. But that's it for the trail ride. Those were my first impressions. Looks like I'm going to have some more cleaning to do. But thanks for joining me, guys. I will see you back at home. Alright, so we are all clean from our ride. A little overkill. I don't really do that every single ride, but it's still new to me, so pride of ownership has never been higher. If you guys are still with me, I just want to say thanks a lot, guys. I really appreciate you watching my videos. And as always, if you want to leave a comment, like, or if you haven't subscribed already, please do so. It really helps the channel. If you are still with me, there's something small to announce. I just got these ADV off-road stickers ordered. This is the first batch. I have about 10 of them extra right now. So if you're still with me, message me on Instagram or Facebook. If you are a resident of anywhere in Canada or the US, basically, I'll send them to you for free to the first 10 messages. So again, guys, thanks very much. It's going to be a great year. I'll see you guys sometime soon.